Hello, and welcome to this week's Glasstire Top 5. It is the week of April 26, 2018. I'm Christina Reese.
And I'm Brandon Zeck.
And we are counting down the top 5 art events in Texas this week.
So number 5 is a show that's actually closing this weekend, but I managed to catch it during Fusebox Festival in Austin, and oh my goodness, I cannot recommend it more. It is Nick Weddell, a show of his new works. They're ceramics at the Eastside Pot Shop in Austin. I can only use food words to describe them. They're delectable, they're scrumptious. They're these colorful, high-fired ceramics, which is kind of contradictory, because a lot of times when you do high-fired ceramics, you get really kind of earthy or washed-out colors, but he has these really bright colors. He's probably killing himself with lead-based inks or lead-based glazes, but these ceramics are amazing. They're cups that he says are functional, but God knows they probably aren't, and not to mention you would never want to try to drink out of one because it would take 2 hands to do so. They're amazing, they're decorated, they're over the top, and they couldn't be more pleasurable.
So number 4 this week is out in Marfa. It actually opens this weekend on the full moon, which is the 29th. It's Haroon, Mirza, a London-based artist who shows internationally. This is one of Ballroom Marfa's big commissions, the way Prada Marfa was a big commission. This is years in the making. Haroon Mirza combines. He's an installation artist. He uses sound elements, light elements. He's built a kind of Stonehenge type installation east of Marfa out of black marble boulders. They're wired with solar panels with LED. This thing will be fired up every full moon over the next 5 years. It will be in place for 5 years. These marble boulders produce patterns of electronic sound and light from the energy generated by the solar panels. That's how it works.
Is this Burning Man meets Marfa?
No, I'm not going to say that this is festival art. I think this is much more serious than that.
Okay, I think that's just a fair question, though. Because
yeah,
it's like something that someone would set up temporarily at Burning Man, and on the full moon it would light up and glow, and it would be amazing.
So number 3 this week is the 22nd San Angelo National Ceramic Competition. San Angelo, the museum, San Angelo Museum of Fine Arts, is known for a lot of things, but one of the things it's most known for is for showing ceramics, and for this particular competition. It happens every other year. This year's juror was Peter Held, who's a very well-known ceramic artist. He has chosen at least or around 100 ceramic artists from all over the U.S. to show in this big show. This is the big part of the show. There's also a focus show that always goes alongside the ceramic competition. The focus show is an artist named Randy Broadnax. This whole thing really opened last weekend with some workshops and some extra programming and events around it, but the symposium, or excuse me, the competition, the shows, are up through June 24th. So if you're passing through that part of Texas, stop at San Angelo.
So number 2 this week is in Dallas. You and I have both seen it. It's Francisco Moreno, The Chapel at Erin, Cluley. So this is it's Texas's second chapel this year.
Oh gosh, yes it is. And I didn't ask him if any of this was in response to Ellsworth Kelly's chapel in Austin, but I would think that.
I don't think this is a response. Francisco's been working on this for a while now. It's a big, plywood structure chapel built inside of the gallery. There are accompanying works with this show that kind of relate to the chapel and the process of creating it, but at the same time, the real meat of this show is the chapel. So the chapel is basically plywood, and they're plywood panels, so from the outside they have this really pleasing texture, but then the inside is filled with his signature painting style. I have to admit, my favorite part was a monster truck that was just kind of rising out of the ether.
That's great. Yeah, the imagery that he combines inside this chapel, and this is well executed. This is a nicely made installation, but the inside, I liked all of the imagery too. There's like Mesoamerican and Aztec. There's conquistadors. There's lifted trucks like the one you're talking about. There's big engine blocks that are just kind of suspended and hanging in the air. There's horses. There's a biomechanoid cat. There's a big raised middle finger. It's a nice, well-executed installation. I enjoyed it.
And number one this week, I think this is the big show in Texas this week. That's what I'd wager. It's right here, right now, San Antonio at the Contemporary Art Museum in Houston. Mm-hmm. So this show has been quite a while in the making. Dean Daderko was actually Casa Chuck's curator in residence. Right here, right now is a series of shows at the Contemporary Arts Museum Houston, Houston-based artists, but this one is kind of expanding. It's going to include 19 artists and artist groups in San Antonio, a lot of names that we're really familiar with and that we've actually covered a lot on Glasstire, and there's actually going to be a lot of programming with this show. The opening is going to have a performance by St. Lorraine. There's going to be a performance by Chrissy Blizzard. There's going to be a performance by Julia Barboso Landois. There's going to be a talk with Justin Boyd, Ana Fernandez. All these great artists are going to be in Houston. And I love this concept in the show just because it's going to be introducing Houston to a lot of people that Houston doesn't know.
Yeah. San Antonio is just, man, I mean, our love affair with San Antonio at this point, I think, is pretty firmly established.